Well, hellfire. It's RockdaRiff, and I am back for another Metalhead Envy. Back with some more Shadow of Intent. Uh, Infinity of Horrors. Seems like the third song off the upcoming album. What's the name of the album? Imperium Delirium. uh, that's a good name. Uh, I have previously done Feeding the Meat Grinder, which was that song was really cool. I listened to Flying the Black Flag off camera, and now I'm gonna check out Infinity of Horrors on camera. Uh, but I'm a pretty big Shadow of Intent fan. I've seen them live. They sound just like the record, and I seen them live when they were doing the Melancholy tour. Why can't I go to the band? Why is it not letting me check out the rest of their stuff? Because I'm a big fan of. I love Reclaimer. Reclaimer was the album that cemented me as a fan of this band. I was like, holy shit, Reclaimer is the bomb. And then I really dig Melancholy. Melancholy had some killer shit on it as well. Uh, wasn't too crazy about Elegy, but I feel like Imperium Delirium is going back closer to the Melancholy Reclaimer kind of stuff. Or, I don't know, I'm getting the same vibe and feeling as I did from those two records, if that makes better sense. But I'm excited to check out Infinity of Horrors. Let's dive on in. Okay. I fucking love this animation. It's appealing to my Dark Souls side. My Souls veteran, because they're about to have a fucking epic boss fight. This dude got fucking yoked. He's like, I wish I could fucking do that. Next time I get pissed, just get fucking jacked and giant and start smashing shit. Hell yeah. Unique animation style. I like the movement of it and everything. Uh, and I'm digging the track as well. I think the track has fit it to a T so far. Okay. Fuck yeah, dude. Vocally, Shadow of Intent, I think they've got one of the best harsh vocalists in the game. And I need to take the time to watch. They have a couple documentaries of making of stuff. His name's Ben Dewar, I think. I don't know if I ever pronounce it right. I'm curious, that's himself harmonizing with himself, doing the harsh vocal and the cleanish Travis Ryan style. It's still a harsh vocal, but it's a little cleaner and it's a melody and a harmony with the and then he's like, I'm assuming that's Ben Dewar doing both those parts. I don't know for sure. Music video wise, it's like, is this entity possessed all these uh crazy leaders through the years. Because they all keep getting super jacked and yoked and turning into that one thing. I like this. Bit of visual storytelling and the music is just fucking epic. I think that's something that Shadow does so well is the orchestral side and adding the I can't think of a better word besides epicness to the guitar riffs, the drums, the bass, and all that. I think that's so cool. I know that's a program. If I ever had a chance to talk to these guys, I would ask, be like, hey, like what goes all into making the orchestral side of y'all's music and shit like that? Because I think Shadow Intent's an artist. I know a lot of metal bands that do that, but I feel like Shadow Intent does it so well. Maybe I like being such a fan, I'm a bit biased, so maybe I'd have to hear other people's point of view of other metal bands that do that. But Shadow, I think y'all fucking knock it out of the park with that stuff. Oh. Fuck yeah. Killer lead tone. I love that lead tone. It works so well. I think I wouldn't say that's kind of Shadow's template. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't mean it in a bad way though. I feel like Shadow has figured out their guitar tones and how because there's a lot going on. Shadow has so much going on, but that lead tone cuts through the mix and it's just such a cool harmony, melody, however you want to word that, to balance with the song, to balance with everything else going on in that mix and master. Uh, Plus, I love the shredding. I love the shredding. I can never remember the guitarist's name from this band, but the dude fucking shreds. And I'm all fucking down for that. Oh shit. Hell yeah. I dig that track too. I think we're 3 for 3 on Imperium Delirium. Uh, I like this animation. I think this is a showcase of how you can get an intensity feeling with shaky cam. If you're gonna do shaky cam, doing it this way is pretty fucking cool. Cause it's just a lot of. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm still waking up this morning, guys, and I do all my music reviewing first thing in the morning. Um, I feel like doing the shaky cam with the still imagery that we have going on here is pretty fucking badass. I dig. I know it seemed like it was a bunch of evil leaders through evil famous leaders throughout time, but taking that out and just thinking of this as like a Dark Souls boss, I really dig this character. I dig this entity that's get fucking just massive and fucking shit up, bro. I don't know if I'm supposed to look at this as a more political way and yeah, this is terrible. But just the fantasy animation fascination that I have with monsters side of me, I'm like, yo, that shit's fucking cool. I like the track a lot. Uh, so the cons I could think of, uh, I think the song sounds good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to the studio version. Uh, because thinking about it, listening to Feeding the Meat Grinder here on YouTube, I don't feel like the mix and master of that track was as compressed as this one is. Infinity of Horrors kind of has a different. I don't know why. I can't like put my finger exactly on what I'm trying to point out, but it just sounds a little quiet, more quiet than the last track I've checked out. Now, listening to Feeding the Meat Grinder and Flying the Black Flag on the record before, they sound evenly volumed and match and everything. Uh, but Infinity Horrors is the number 3 track on the record. So if I get in the car and I let it play, if I'm on, well, basically what I'll do is I'll listen to the 3 singles that we have on the album. I'll get in the car, I'll pick Flying the Black Flag, and I'll let it play all the way through Feeding the Meat Grinder. And Infinity of Horrors is in the middle. So that way I'll be able to compare and see how the volumes sound in that setting. But I don't understand. YouTube's kind of funny about its compression because part of the reason why, one, I mean, I'm listening in these headphones, but two, I'm looking over at OBS sometimes and I could see the volume difference because I remember Feeding the Meat Grinder, the volume was hitting the red or getting right at the red in my OBS, and this track never really broke the middle of the yellow of the 2 bars. Somebody knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, it just sounded like it was a little compressed. Normally, I feel like Shadow's music cuts a lot harder, a lot heavier, but at the same time, all you gotta do is turn the headphones up a bit, and this track was fucking sick nasty. I think it's a fucking, it's get in the car and go from beginning to end. Opening sacket to the closing sacket. This song is fucking pedal to the metal. And once again, Shadow, if you ever see a video of mine, I'm a big fan. I think y'all are fucking awesome. And I wish y'all nothing but more and more and more success. If this ends up being your first time to the channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And who else is excited for Imperium Delirium? Because I know I am. I'm going to go ham on listening to that record. And with all that being said, stay positive, stay rocking, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.